It's been a slow, gruesome, and methodical killing of the heavy healer build in New World. While many of you may be saying that build's been dead for a while now, I haven't given up hope. However, I think my hope now is pointless as the final blow and the nail in the coffin is live on the PTR. Now, first of all, I want to say I understand that at a point pretty early on, a Paladin build was ridiculous. I mean, we couldn't die. Between the heavy armor, the shield, the defensive abilities, and the life staff giving so much to us, we were unkillable, and it was great. This is no longer the case. Since returning to the game about a week and a half ago, after quitting back in November, I have come back to my build being seemingly useless in the way that I had it built before. Now, it is worth mentioning that in some of the clips that you will see, I was relatively lower gear scored, right? I was around 565 or so, going against people that were between probably 600 and 625. I also hadn't changed my stats back up to be a little bit more tanky. I still was running like a 120, 125 constitution and a 300 to 326, I believe, focus. So I was a little more squishy. So me going down as quickly as I was definitely ties into that. However, I have since made those adjustments, raised my constitution up to 150, so I at least get that 10% less damage from critical hits, as well as getting the extra HP at the cost of lowering my focus. This hurts healers a lot because focus is, of course, where that healing and their damage comes from. And of course, while I'm not going to be doing a lot of damage, I'd like to make up for that being able to heal a bit. And these are the things that we really need to focus on for the PTR, where they're taking this even further. As you can see here, it is going to be reducing the physical armor increase from the 200 constitution attribute bonus from 20% to 10%. What this means is that you are going to take more damage in heavy armor or light or medium, no matter what it is. So this isn't heavy armor specific. With 200 constitution, you will now take more damage. Now, you take that and you couple that with the nerf to heavy healing, and it is spelling disaster. As we can see right here, we'll skip down the rest. Healing bonuses are quick loader now. Light plus 30% from 0. Medium, 0%. Heavy, negative 30%. I mean, wow. That is a 60%. You're going to hear this a lot in this video. That is a 60% split between light and heavy. 30 to 0 to negative 30. That's insane. We now have anti-heal more frequently in the game. We've already nerfed the heavy armor healing. Now in the PTR, not only is it getting worse at negative 30% for heavy armor, that is 60% less than the light armor, which will now have 30% bonus. We're also losing the constitution bonus. If you have 200 constitution, you would previously get an extra 20% armor. Now it's only 10%, meaning that the heavy healer who would normally go focus con is now going to take more damage because of less armor while also healing for less. Stop. All right, see, before you listen any further, I'm going to need you to head on over to twitch.tv/Harper_TV, throw me a follow. Maybe I'll be live, who knows, and come chat with me. Love to have you guys over there. Let's get back to the show. And of course, I will openly admit that I am somewhat biased. I have been running a Paladin build basically since launch. I started out with a sword and board and life staff, and I kept it the whole way through. Now, there were times I was super frustrated because even attacking normal mobs, it takes forever to kill them. And I watch other people just running through, taking them out, no problem, a couple of hits, and I'm sitting there fighting the same thing for a minute to be able to take it down. But I understood that was the sacrifice because I could do some things that they couldn't. If somebody in a DPS role or a light healer role or something similar or just really different than a heavy healer was fighting 9 mobs at the same time that were roughly the same level, they would die, or they'd have to do crazy dodges and they had to do these things. Whereas I couldn't kill them as fast, but I wasn't going down. Between my heavy armor, my shield, my defensive abilities as stated before, and my healing, I was able to do that. Now, would it take me forever? Would it be kind of obnoxious to have to play through it? Absolutely. But I could do it. And that's what I was giving up, was the damage, the ability to take down things easily and go on the offensive so that I could be an ultimate defensive machine.
Heartbreaker. I hope you know, most people would have been dead already.
It was already hard enough to come up with a reason why you would run heavy and healing instead of just light and healing. With the 20%, it was already like, well, you're not going to heal as much as the light guy, but you know, you can tank some things and you can stay alive and keep those heals going, whereas a light player without infinite dodges may actually get taken out. Well, With the 30%, that chasm between those two got even larger. We're not talking just like a 10%, we're talking a 20% larger gap. Again, 30% more, 30% less of zero. 60% difference. That is massive. Now, if you try to get into anything, PvP, dungeons, just a group out in the world, and you're like, hey, I'm a heavy healer, why would they take you? You're gonna heal them for 60% less than the other guy can who's wearing light. They're killing the build. They're killing the viability of it. It's not just that it's not as good now, which they had already done. It's now just useless. My main argument against making more changes is that, yes, heavy healers are hard to kill, but they should be, because that's all they have. When you really think about it, people are complaining because maybe they can't take down that heavy healer alone, or they can't beat them in a 1 versus 1 or something along the lines, but you're also not going to die to the heavy healer. A heavy healer that is built primarily on the idea of focus and constitution, i.e. the Paladin build like I have, is not going to kill you. And if they do, you're really bad. Or you're under-geared or under-leveled. But at that level, you won't fall to them, and it is difficult to kill them. Why? Because it is the one thing they have. If they go down as quickly or marginally harder than something else, then what's the point of even going that build to begin with? The balance of the build is that they can't heal as much as light, but they're harder to kill. They can't deal as much damage as a DPS in heavy or a tank in heavy who may be focused on con and strength, but they can keep themselves alive. They can keep their party members alive. And that's the point, is it is already sacrificing a lot of ways to play the game. You're sacrificing DPS and being able to take down enemies, whether it's PvE or PvP. You're sacrificing dealing the highest level of healing simply for survivability. But we're killing all of that. Now you won't be able to deal any damage, you won't be able to heal anybody, and you won't even be able to stay alive. Again, I ask, what's the point? It's not just that healing difference. The whole constitution bonus at 200 is now halved. It's literally halved. So you have that massive gap in healing, and you're not as tanky. What do you have to offer? Well, the answer is basically nothing. And then what is supposed to be a classless game? A game where you can pair whatever you want, however you want to do it, completely killing a certain build, one that had some popularity and had some purpose, just seems kind of like against the game. And I'm not saying that every build has to be completely balanced and evened out. They won't be, which is why I'm somewhat okay with the fact that, of course, light healers heal for more. That's okay. But should it be 60% more? Absolutely not. Should the tankiness of a heavy healer be brought down? I don't think so. I'm not saying there couldn't be fine-tuning. Maybe there are things that need to change. Some people still argue that if you have a tank and a Paladin build character near each other, they can become very unkillable. I don't necessarily think that if you attack that situation correctly, that it's that big of a deal with the right CCs, with the right stuns, with the right focus between the players. If you have a group of 2, 3, 4, and you do it correctly, you should be able to take those players out. And even if you can't, it's not like they're taking you out either. Again, it's got to be a give and a take of some kind, and everybody's just focused on the take. They want really low time to kills. The game is already heavily, and I mean heavily, DPS focused. And now all the DPS players are complaining that they can't kill a heavy healer as quickly as they can kill the random bow user who's wearing medium. It's not supposed to be the same. So I hope I've made a solid case. I hope that some of you are now understanding from a heavy healer's point of view why all of this isn't as necessary. You've already nerfed healing with seemingly every update since the game launched, Amazon, and now we're focusing specifically on heavy healers and letting light healers kind of gain a little bit more of their former glory with that extra percentage. So again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, or you just want to hear more of my takes, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment letting me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next video.